sure that my kids were doing the wrong. It was also my duty to make sure that young kids are doing the right thing, even if I was not there. Because of course, people need to struggle. I'm not saying people should leave whatever they are doing to come back home and begin to, train their children to understand some of these basics. No. But then there should be a time for the kids. There should be a time for you to take a look. When you have a farm, for instance, imagine you have a farm, you go there to apply fertilizers and all of that, and then you do not go there again. You think you get any yield? No. You need to monitor it. You need to check at every point to see if there's any correction you do at any point. That's the same thing with the children we have. So imagine a situation where you and I are too busy. As we are here now, we don't know what is happening with our kids, where they are. Mine are in school now. They are now in the hands of their teachers, right? But then, is this person teaching them? How good is it? What is this person teaching them? What
school authorities are doing now?
No, I said it's a holistic thing. It's a holistic thing. Okay. Now, when I was growing up, as young as I am, we had a situation where, teachers were noble people. In fact, I remember at some point saying that I want to be like that man, well dressed, well behaved. It was difficult for you to, those days that, the social media was on there. Probably in the environment where I grew up, where people were mostly not educated. So some of them became rallying points. You want someone to read a letter for you, you go to them. You want to get a pen, you go to them and borrow one. You want someone to read a letter for you, you go to them. Those are the kind of teachers we had in the past. That was when you were rated the noble profession. It's not a situation today where these same kids that were complaining that have become drug addicts, because by virtue of their graduation there's no job, some of them have become teachers. And then they are the ones who are teaching your kids, they are the ones who are teaching my kids. And imagine there's an opening somewhere where they're sending my own kid to go, please go and get this for me. What do you think is happening in that kind of situation? Automatically, they are trying to, initiate, let me use the word, initiate, the younger ones into some of that's the real thing here. So how are these people qualified to even teach? Because you must have that moral, upbringing to be able to impact it to the younger ones. So you might have moral deficit and you're a teacher. What do you think? Is this something with the accidental parents we have now? Some maybe in the course of this drug addiction got impregnated and automatically become mothers. So imagine while the daughter is sucking from this side, the mother is smoking something. Or the father is sitting there smoking. So what do you expect of the kids? That's why I say it's a total thing. It's a total thing. Don't worry. If you read that article very well, I'm worried. I said at some point that we might have a generation of people who have a mental illness in the next generation if we're not careful, because of the rate at which this is going. It's a holistic thing. It's not something you sit here comfortably and say the government is not doing anything. Yes, probably the government should also step up. We need more agencies, probably. But I remember there was war against there's something about war against indiscipline and corruption. Yeah? I think that was introduced by, was it Olusegun Obasanjo? And then back in school, in secondary school, sometimes we had people who were looking into this. While we're playing, some people will be watching us to make sure that we're not doing the wrong things. That's the error. But these things are no longer here. You have too many private schools, and then you don't even know their code of conduct. You don't know what happens there. It's a problem. It's a very big problem. And I'll tell you that, yes, at least they say charity begins at home. If you have the adequate time to monitor your child by the time he gets back home, then you can start asking questions. It's better to nip it from the board. It's better for you to control them why they are starting it. But because by the time they get addicted, now the situation of a child who, because he got addicted and somehow he embraced Christ at some point and stopped it, just like that, it became a problem to him. I remember a doctor advising me in the hospital that that's not how it's done. You must stop this belatedly because it was too much in his system. You can't just wake up someday and stop it. No. You must start from maybe going down to, small, gradually like that. You understand? There are health implications too. And this is connected to criminality because by the time society, you would have solved so many problems. I'm so impressed that, the Benue television is beginning to take interest, to see how it's not enough. What you're saying is not enough to talk about it. It's something that person who is listening to us must take it as a responsibility. You can't decide. We've gone to churches to even, enlighten people about some of these things. But we say it's mostly about the parents. Someone who is addicted is very difficult for you to begin to control at this point.
Jimmy, I must say thank you very much for having time with us again. Before we go finally, it appears we've not spoken to the children directly.
Yes.
Talk to them.
Yeah, for the children, I want you to understand, my dear children, that you can make the world a better place. Some of us parents are trying so hard to make sure that all the mistakes that we've done in the past are corrected just for your sake. And so you must understand that being a drug addict cannot make you the president of this country. Being a drug addict cannot make you the governor of the state. Being a drug addict cannot make you the chairman of your local government. If you want to be a good man, if you want to grow up, and you feel your dreams in life, whether you want to become a soldier, a medical doctor, a lawyer, whatever you want, an architect, a journalist, you must make sure that you shun drug or substance abuse. They kill, they destroy you. Imagine that you're going naked, because it is no longer controlled. God forbid. But please, don't do it. Don't do substance abuse. Make sure you talk to your fellow kids and tell them that the world is a better place if you do not engage in substance abuse. Thank you very much.
There is still a chance to make it right. Thank you very much, Jimmy, for coming.
Thank you for having me, my brother.
And so that's Anchor for now. Join us again when we make a return next episode.